just me. There's no in between. So this
is just me.
Is just me.
Why there is no in between.
So
this ain't my scene, I beg my leave. My face ain't clean, this is just me. Some ways I lean, escaping green. I state my dream, not in between. This ain't my scene, I beg my leave. My face ain't clean, this is just me. Some ways I lean, escaping green. No in between.
This is just me. A sound, a style, a groove, a rhythm.
No in between.
I know you have to say what you're doing. I'll move on, yeah, I'll move on. 1 minute, then I'm gone. I'm gone. So this is just me. It's a sound, it's a style, it's a groove, it's a rhythm.
No in between.
I know you have to say what you're giving. I'll move on, yeah, I'll move on. 1 minute, then I'm. 1 minute, then I'm. This is just me. A sound, a style, a groove, a rhythm. No in between. I know you have to say what you're giving.
Right! Hi everybody! It is so cool to be here with you again today. I am Nastine.
And that would make me Peter.
And we are the co-founders of Explore Protech Entrepreneurial Haven. We help entrepreneurs across the world find a tribe, find a network, and grow their businesses. You are tuned into the Coffee Shop Conversation Show, where a bunch of entrepreneurs gets together every Friday at 1 South African time to just talk business in a very fun, relaxed, and informative way. Our panel members are here to give you their best value because obviously the more they talk, the more you get to know them and the more their value gets seen and heard. Okay, cool. So on that note, for our tribe members, you guys know how this works, right? If you want to answer a question, you please need to show me your heart emoticon on the screen. And whoever puts up their heart first will get nominated by me and Peter, and we will ask you to give your best value towards the question. Everybody happy with that? Are you ready to roll, tribe mates? Ready to roll. Please remember, when you answer a question, end the answer with your name and your company's name so that we get your name out there, right? Okay, epic. Let's do this. Okay, so my first question I actually got via email, and this is from Thomas. Thomas is from the USA, and he basically heard that we have some emotional intelligence experts on the panel today. So Thomas says, I'm in the process of scaling up my business, and I'm wondering how learning more about emotional intelligence can help me do that. I'll repeat that for you guys. I'm in the process of scaling my business, and I'm wondering how learning more about emotional intelligence can help me do that. Any tribe mates that want to answer that question?
Mr. Levy.
Mr. Levy, let's hear it, please.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, well, I'm not an emotional intelligence expert, Thomas, so I'll just let you know that straight up. But it's very important. So my input on that is there's two quadrants in that make up emotional intelligence that are very important. And the one is self-awareness and the other one is self-management. So if you're looking to scale up your business, it's very important to understand, firstly, who you are and how that impacts on your business. And the second thing I would say is as important as who you are, probably more important is how you manage that within your business and aligned to what you're doing in your business. And then the rest follows from that. But I'm sure there are other people that have more expertise in emotional intelligence than I do, but those for me are key. So I hope that helps and answers part of your question.
Thank you, Stephen Levy from Dare to Be Coaching and Beyond. I appreciate the
I
answer.
did it again. Thank you. Thank you, Nastine, for all your supporting, your support all the time and your backup.
Only pleasure. I got your back, Stephen, all the way. That's what this tribe is about. Okay, cool. Next up, Mr. Super Sales.
Thanks, guys. So also, I'm not an emotional intelligence expert, but I did hear an emotional intelligence person tell me that, look, I think emotional intelligence is really about resilience, right? So it's about our ability to maintain a sense of composure under stress. And we're not feeding into an emotion like of anger and expressing that in a way that's inappropriate for that circumstance. So really the way we build that emotional intelligence, I believe, is through experience. And when we can be critical, not like critical in a bad way, but just critique ourselves in terms of how we conduct ourselves in business, and the more we can just be and have the right people around us that helps us to build that, right? So really, I have this feeling of just be kind all the time, no matter what. So, and if that is like your philosophy, you can build a lot bigger emotional intelligence around how to act around people, and people will love you for it. So, I don't have immediate strategies, but I think that is a good thing to have all the time. Be kind all the time.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. I like that, Marlon. And it's difficult as an entrepreneur to be kind all the time, isn't it?
Well, it's difficult in life. I mean, like in all situations. I mean, it's especially like with people that know you well, family, friends. And if you can be kind all the time in that environment and see a different side of it, I think you start to build that resilience, and you'll start to grow as an individual, because then you're not looking at the negatives. You're not looking at how bad this person is, how much they've hurt you or whatever. You're actually trying to see the better part of that situation. And I think that's what's going to help you build the resilience. My name is Marlon August of Story Advantage.
That is how you do it. Yeah. Okay. Stephen Westwood.
Hello. So I do agree with everything Stephen Levy and Marlon have said. In regard to emotional intelligence, I think it's more to do with how you develop relationships, in my opinion anyway, especially to scale your business. By scaling your business, you're going to need to be able to work with people and make sure they're working with the right people. And that does take emotional intelligence. You have to be able to bring the best out in others in order for your business to grow. And that can be said for if you are working with freelancers. It can be said if you're working in partnership with other companies, and it especially is true for if you have employees or interns and you're growing your business in using other people and their skill sets. It's also knowing what your limitations are, and understanding that you need to fill that gap, you need to bridge that gap in order to succeed in whatever it is that you're trying to do. Stephen Westwood, SPW copywriting author, coach, speaker, and I'm sure I've got other titles as well. I will add to them later.
Thank you, Stephen. Epic. Okay, Miss Cole, Miss Kip.
Hi, everyone. So with emotional intelligence, I'd like to bring another spectrum to look at, and that's the customer journey. So I feel like emotional intelligence within the customer journey, so knowing what exactly is your target audience's customer, and also knowing exactly who your customer avatar is. So Marlon actually, Mr. Super Sales, has this 5K challenge, and what he really dives into here is a male married man acts differently to a single woman that's like a single mom ready to be a mom, you know, where you need to really like visualize that person and really dive into what is that emotional trigger for that person to commit to leveraging your business. And that becomes a sales funnel really. And I feel like with today's social media and, you know, all the different kind of niches of learning about neuroscience in business, or even personality types, like Karen Greeff has her personality archetypes. I feel like if you want to scale with emotional intelligence, you have to break it down as to who are you serving and really go, okay, great. So if I want to dive into emotional intelligence, which categories am I looking at here? Archetypes, neuroscience, customer avatar, demographics, everything like that. And you can like spend forever and get really nerdy about it, which is actually super cool. But there is resources out there. And I would say emotional intelligence is not just one thing, it's many things within your business. This is Miss Kip, and I'm the founder of Kip Media Hub, helping you leverage your business online through social media strategies and online monetization.
Epic! Thank you, Miss Kip. Okay, and for the first time on the show today, Lynette, we're dying to hear what you have to say.
Thank you, Nestine, and thank you for having me today. I'm Lynette Berger, and I'm the founder of YourEmpoweredPotential.com. And to be honest, I've been traveling a lot of years to get here to actually know what I'm supposed to do. So I'm all about leadership, I'm about values and emotional intelligence, but I'm not doing this on my own. I have help. And I've been listening to the comments here, and it's just amazing, you know, how you regard emotional intelligence as part of the entrepreneur journey. And I think, you know, for me, emotional intelligence is really a journey. I don't think we are born with it. I think it's a journey, a skill sets that we get to learn while we are experiencing life. And I think that is what it was for me. Back in my corporate days, well, it was difficult for me to kind of serve in a way, because I didn't really have the good examples out there. Even my own leaders were not very good examples. And that's sad, actually, if you come to think about it. And I think the one thing that I do want to point out today is that if you look at leadership these days, and I think of entrepreneurs as leaders, because I see them as servant leaders. And it all boils down to one's values at the end of the day. And if you fall back onto your core values, you can actually start building your emotional intelligence skills from there on, you know, and from there on, try and serve people in a better way, in a more impactful way, which is lasting. You can, I think from there on, you can just explore more and just grow some confidence in that way, whilst connecting with a network of people. I think the sky's the limit, really.
Really love that.
Yeah, beautiful. Thanks so much, Lynette. And who thought like an emotional intelligence expert that's also an accountant? Wow!
Thanks, Nestine.
Only a pleasure. Okay, so we have, look, you guys love your emotional intelligence. Renee, you also had your heart up.
Hi, guys. I think emotional intelligence, especially entrepreneurship, is extremely important. I think first of all, it will seriously improve your self-awareness, which I think is very important. especially when you know where you stand emotionally yourself as an entrepreneur. It will help you, because it will help you identify where you stand personally. And if you know where you stand personally, you can better identify with your customers. And if you know where you stand, know where you identify with your customers, you can better identify their needs. Which will definitely help identify your needs and then help your customers better. It will also help you with emotionally if you effectively communicate with your customers. You can't have a deep conversation, a proper deep conversation with your customers if you can't empathize with them, and if you need emotional intelligence to properly do that with your customers. So I think that is really important as well. And then also have better control of your emotions. If you don't have emotional intelligence to have control over your emotions, without emotional intelligence, that will not be possible. So you need that control. If your emotions is running wild with being an entrepreneur, to make those decisions is going to be extremely difficult. I think that is my 3 points that I want to make on emotional intelligence in entrepreneurship. Thank you, Renee Bracer and craftemporium.com. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Renee. That's awesome. I love that. So it's actually such an integral part of the whole sales process. I never thought of it like that, but it's so true. Probably because I'm not very emotionally intelligent. I'm like a slightly intelligent goldfish when it comes to emotional intelligence, but that's why I have all of you around me. Okay, Maggie, you don't have a heart, you just have a hand, but you put up the hand, so give us your best shot. You have to unmute yourself, Maggie.
I did. Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Okay. I said that we use big words like emotional intelligence. Exactly what is emotional intelligence? Because we tend to concentrate on the big factors when it's the little factors within us that really counts, that really matters. Why did you even take the journey in entrepreneurship in the first place? It's because it's something that drove your passion to do what you're doing to serve others. So what exactly is that? And the way you serve others with what you do and the passion that you have to drive that is exactly what your customers are looking for. So if you listen to yourself and what you actually want to serve, that's exactly what your customers are looking for. Sounds complicated, but that's how you serve people. That is how you would know exactly what your customer wants, because it's, you know what you want to give, and that's exactly what they're looking for, to the point of pain points. So yeah, that's just my little bit.
Maggie Naidu from The Believe Inc.
Sorry, it's Maggie from Believe Incorporated, the training and coaching company.
Yay! Thank you, Maggie. That was beautiful. I love it. And I love your questions. They kind of caught me a bit off guard, which I like. I like that. Cool. Okay, guys. So I can see that all of you are super, super into emotional intelligence. Thomas, I hope that really helps you. Emotional intelligence key to scaling up your business, but all of these people can help you figure out apparently how to do that. So it's amazing. Let's move on to one of our live guests, shall we? So let's get Haley Gray up here. And then Haley, what is your question for our panel?
Hi everyone, thanks for including me today. I am from Cut to Code, and we build technology solutions. We're pretty much focused in the operational space. So what's interesting about us is we are currently expanding into a new market. And based on past experience, what I've experienced in our South African market is always needing to vet our clients. Stepping into building technology for others it's quite a substantial investment for us as a business to step onto a client. And often what has happened in the past is we've had clients who have booked work, but then pretty much as we've stepped into project scoping and delivering work, we've had some poor experiences with clients disappearing in the past. So we've managed to figure out how to vet clients in a local market. Thankfully, we've got a broad network and we have people that we can always speak to. However, my concern now is stepping into a different market where we're moving into the European market at the moment. I'm quite keen to understand what you would suggest in a sales approach, particularly looking at these new clients who we're onboarding. And that's my question. I am Haley from Cut to Code.
Awesome, Haley. Okay, guys, so on the vetting process, we already have a heart up. Stephen.
Hello, Haley. It's nice to meet you. So if I'm to understand your question correctly, it's you're moving into the European market to develop technology for your clients. And obviously, if you're going to get the project and finish the project, they need to be part of that process, and you want to make sure that they are. So I'm in a completely different field, but the way that I do it, because I have had some people who I have completed work for and then they've done a disappearing act. So how do I put this nicely? I have a solid contract. They have to meet certain criteria. They also have to perform certain tasks. Because if they're not going to perform those certain tasks, then I know that they're not serious. They're not really bothered about the project. And I have clear, open communication. I try to communicate as often as I need to. With some clients, that is daily. With other clients, it's a drop in once a month. But it is all about how you work with that client to start that project. If you can get them to perform certain tasks with you and make sure that they're part of that journey, they're more likely to stay. There is also, in my case, there is also things such as making sure that I take the deposit, making sure that they're financially accountable as well. I have got a couple more ideas, but I don't want to say them just yet because I haven't fully formulated the answer in my head. So I will type to you, but yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome, Stephen. Thank you, Stephen from SPW Copywriting.
And whatever title we can come up with this time.
Explore Protect UK Hub host. Be there.
Yes.
Okay. By the way, yes, this is what I want to do next. I want to put my co-founder on the spot.
Ooh.
You are in charge of vetting all these people, Peter. Like, you got all of these different entrepreneurs onto this network. And guys, like, can I see a heart if you love your tribe right now? Like, the people on the screen are absolutely epic. And we love each other. We support each other. We just adore each other.
Everybody's heart in Maggie's hand.
Yes. Peter, how do you vet the people? Because this is actually still a mystery to me. I just know, like, we'll meet one person and you'll be like, yes. And then the next person that's like, no. And I have no clue.
Well, there's a lot of profiling involved. You get people that across the world that are entrepreneurs that consider doing business in different ways. They have different methods, different thought processes on how to do business. They have different thought processes on how to build a relationship. So a lot of the vetting process actually comes from communication and actually building that bridge where you can communicate with somebody that to the point where you can understand, are they actually on the same page as you or not? That literally comes from a conversation. I mean, I'm pretty sure that every individual here has met somebody and for the first time, and within that conversation, they know, do we have something in common or do we not? Do we continue this conversation? Do we meet again? Do we not meet again? Those are the small things that actually really count. And the vetting process for me is all about communication. Reading people, character. It plays a huge part in the process. And what I've also discovered from our side is that if we have clients that have, and you can take this however you want to take this, but if you have clients that have got no skin in the game, then they do not feel any responsibility towards anything that gets done. So if we had to create a course and we go, it's absolutely free, and we just give it away, people do not feel the need or the responsibility to arrive. Even though they've booked, they may not arrive because they've got no skin in the game. They've got no, if they don't arrive, it doesn't cost them anything. They haven't lost anything. So I think when somebody puts something into a relationship, then they are fully expecting to get something out of the relationship too, which makes sure that the relationship continues. So we like to make sure that people actually do have skin in the game. They've put something in, and they actually, now they know, and you know, that both parties their interest is in building that relationship. So that for me is 100% super important. However, you will come across those people that will speak the game. They'll be like, yes. But however, they will not put their skin into the game. And you know that may not go through the entire journey. So just be aware of who you're building relationship with, how, and what they've invested into that relationship.
And if you can't read people the way Peter does, find yourself another Zoom sniper that can. Or go to Stephen's Hub and he'll vet them for you. Miss Kip, you had a hot up.
Hi, Haley. This is such a great question. And for me, it's very topical to what I'm doing at the moment. And I can't relate to your industry, but I can give you kind of what I'm doing for mine, and maybe you can translate it into your own. So I call it like the quality control checklist. Okay. I've made notes because I'm a note taker. So I've just hired 18 interns. And the thing is, hiring interns is one of those things where it can go completely wrong or can go absolutely amazing. And even though you're working actually with physical business, this is the same kind of process of quality control, because you'll get people that, even if you're a business coach, who just waste your time, who doesn't want to pay for your value. And this is topical. So for me, I was like, right, I know in order for me to get the best interns for me, because at the end of the day, I wanted to hire someone to work for me, but I decided to create a program where I'm helping others serve themselves, but also it's a quality control process for me. So stuff that I have, or topics that I have come up with that is important to this quality control is keywords. What keywords are they in the first initiative conversation? What keywords are they saying that resonates with you and your brand? Know your business values, okay? Know that you have to have your business values. And if they don't check your business values, these are not the people who are going to be resonating with your business brand and want to move forward with you. Contract, you have to have terms and conditions all the time. Like Stephen Westwood said about the contract, the funding, measurable. Another thing is time, okay? For instance, I've hired 18 interns, but if they do not respond, I've given them the position. If they do not respond by today, they will have to wait until July 2021 in order to get into the training process. So I have a cutoff date. So the same with the monetary, any deposit or anything, have time bound. Don't say, oh no, it's fine, I'll give you another week, because as soon as they mess with your time, that is going to devalue you and your brand, because that's not your ideal client. Your ideal client wants to get with you right there, right now, do business. And you don't want to waste your time with people who keep rescheduling, okay? Methodology. So having, from the moment that you set up that initial conversation to the contract, have a methodology, and I call it the operational process, where it is first interview, have your checklist for that. Second interview, whatever checklist, and then the contract, like how Explore Protect say they do a dating. They date before they commit to a marriage, you know? And that's the same thing, is that you have to date your international clients and see what resonates with you. And knowing what you are looking for in your ideal client. So going back to, I know you said stepping into the market, and you briefly described your target audience, but you didn't really give specifics. So knowing exactly what you are looking for will prepare you for that interview, because I can tell you now, when I did all my interviews, I immediately knew what resonated, and I've given all my interns 1 month probation. And no, again, take what will resonate. You can translate this into anything you're working with, but I've given them also 1 month probational period. So another woman said about sponsorship in terms of working with other brand managers is that they have a trial period. So maybe, I don't know how your business works, but you have a trial period where you see whether this relationship can carry forward. So again, it's that dating process. My time frame is 1 month to see if you're worthy or not. I'm fair, but I'm also my quality control. I want the best people moving forward. My name is Ms. Kif, and thank you.
Amazing. Haley, I hope you got lots of value from that. I see Mo is resonating a lot. So I just wanted to say, like, one of the best ways to get clients that actually are pre-vetted for you is to network for them. So if you want clients that are amazing and good and resonate with people like us, and they are in your European market, you need to have a one-on-one coffee with Tasha Cole, Stephen Westwood, and Renee Bracer, and they all here on the show today. So enjoy. That's going to be amazing for you. I hope that helps. Awesome. Okay, guys. So I know we had some more hearts, but we have to move on just to be able to slot in all our guests. So let's move on to Rita. Rita, what is your question for the panel?
Nestine, I think my question for the panel is will this be the right platform for me to do my networking from?
Good question.
Stephen, I can see you have your heart. You're like pressing that heart like no tomorrow.
First of all, Rita, we still need to arrange that coffee. I want to hear what that secret is. Second of all, I think that this is a great platform for anyone who is not in networking just purely to sell. It is about building relationships, how you can serve other people, and how you connect with those people. I don't think I need to really say more than that. I have a question for you, Rita. Do you feel like this could be the right platform for you?
I enjoy the platform thoroughly. I enjoy the networking and the space that it's taking place in. I really do enjoy that. So yeah, it does feel like that. I need to make up my mind what I want to do. So I just need to have some feedback from all the other members about your experience. And I presume that if you haven't had a good experience, you wouldn't have been here.
I have another question for you, Rita. What is holding you back?
At the moment, nothing. I'm ready to go. I'm just vetting, as what you guys now say. I'm just vetting ticking all the boxes. That's all I'm doing.
I'll send you an email and we'll have that coffee.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay.
Stephen Westwood, enter title here.
Thank you, Stephen. It's awesome. Okay, I had a heart from Lynette and from Mo. So let's take Lynette and then Mo.
Thank you, Nestine. Hello, Rita. Lynette here. So I think what only comment that I want to maybe make and just add to what Stephen has shared with you there is that in this community, what I've experienced from day one is that everybody is so, it's really a safe environment in which you can connect with people. I never at any one moment or minute experienced that that thing about judgment. I've never seen this. It's not existing in this tribe. We here to serve, and we here to experience and just learn from each other. I think the key word for me is really to be teachable, and just to be open to share and learn from each other. Is what you make from it.
Thank you, Lynette.
Beautiful. Mo.
Yes. So Teresa's question, I personally feel that especially in the context of the world we live in right now, any opportunity you have to connect with people, any opportunity you have to meet like-minded people that can show you a different perspective, that can connect you to other people, that can help you, see things differently or connect you to opportunities and so forth, is worth giving it a shot. I personally feel that you have little to nothing to lose just giving it a try, and and just sort of pouring yourself into it, and you'll see a really amazing results as people pour themselves into each other in this tribe. And I think someone used the term platform earlier, and I don't really I don't resonate with that term in the context of this tribe. There's two terms I really resonate with, and that's authentic and genuine. It's an amazing group of the most authentic and most genuine people I've ever met in the context of networking in business. I can put it that way. And I feel that more so now than ever, we need to build economies that are conscious, authentic, and genuine. And that starts with building, being entrepreneurs and business owners that are conscious, authentic, and genuine, and pouring that into our businesses. And of all of the groups that I am part of, this is the tribe that does that the most for me. So I would definitely say, just get in there, and I can actually guarantee that you won't regret it. And I don't guarantee many things.
Thank you, Mo. I appreciate it. Thank you.
We love you, Mo. That's awesome. What an epic answer. And you are Mo Malele, slam poet, marketing genius. Your company name is?
NK Innovations.
Beautiful. Okay. For the first time, guys, I see in the chat, Hayley is actually one of our guests, and she wants to share an experience with us relating to your question, Rita. So I'm going to pull Hayley back up on stage, and I'm very keen to hear what this is, because we never let guests answer questions. But Hayley, here we go.
Hi there. So I think that maybe it was a little bit misread, because Stephen had an experience to share with me. But I can share an experience if you guys would like.
Just roll with it.
Yeah, and maybe
we're in too deep now.
And maybe it would give you a really good view of why I'm asking this question. Because I think often when we're in business, we have this view that we need to work with every customer that comes our way. So, and I have, through my experiences, realized that that is definitely not the case. We need to be a little bit more selective. So I really liked Peter's response on connecting with someone. I think that's so relevant, really, because often we don't give ourselves enough time to truly connect in an authentic fashion with these individuals who try and procure our services. But just to give you a bit of a backstory, last year as a business, we almost shut down because an individual procured services from us that really booked our entire engineering team for about a 6-month process. We went through the entire scoping, business analysis, really diving deep into the planning phase of that project, and ultimately having every single one of our resources booked on that project. Started the coding elements of that project, and when the first month's payments needed to come through, he completely disappeared. So just to let you know, it's how quickly we can, as a business, how quickly we can incur costs in 1 month. If we've got a bunch of engineers working on a very large project, if you're thinking about 5 or 6 engineers booked into a project, the amount of overheads you're covering is quite substantial. So, and what also happens in that particular case is you're booking your engineering team on that project for the next X amount of months, which means that your budget needs to cover salaries and expenses for those months that you've booked, right? And what happened with us in that particular instance is we did not continue to drive our pipeline of sales. So we were solely focused on this particular work, legal agreements in place, having done background checks on the client, but ultimately, when it came to actually having to make sure that the first milestone payment was complete, and just a note over there, what we try to do, because the operational costs are quite high on these kind of projects, what happens is we try to build our cash flow really well. And not billing clients big sums upfront, but rather building it within different milestones on a monthly basis. So we're very clear on what needs to be delivered every single month, and for that month, you're pretty much covered. But this client disappeared literally on the first milestone payment, couldn't reach him for the next 2 or 3 months. And within that period, what needed to happen was we needed to cover our entire costs with our entire team, unable to have a client that covered team costs, so team salaries essentially. We had neglected our pipeline of sales, so we immediately jumped back into pipeline to drive the new business. But as most of you are probably very familiar with a lot more than I am, because sales is an environment that we need a lot of help in. But what happened there was the pipeline takes quite a while, so it's a 3 to 6 month process where we needed to cover ourselves. And that's why I posed this question. So having a software business positioned in South Africa with a clear network who had come to us to vet this individual, my concern now is stepping into the European market. We're now, we've set up offices in Lisbon. Our engineering team still sits in South Africa. But my concern is the budgets become much bigger, and I'm really keen to figure out a way to make sure that we're engaging with the right clients so that that doesn't happen until they're kind of covered, you know? That's the reason I asked this question.
Can I just add, sorry, Hayley, this is why, how can I say, what I would suggest is from your past experience, because we've all had clients that has, what's a great word, but that's not being rude, but that has screwed us over, and that's the only way to say it. I'm sorry, but who has really, really been pain point clients. Like, we have a library full of those, and I feel like the only thing we can do with those clients is learn what could we have done better. And you said about the milestone, especially moving before, this is like the best time to go into your international market, because now you've had those people that has not committed to your service, who has, you can learn from, and now you go, okay, cool. And the great thing about operations is that it's a constant evaluation. What is every step fine-tuned? You know, it's always that reflect, come back, and something that before stepping into the international market, you want people to be paying these milestones before you get started with the project. Like even something like a massive corporation like Cisco Live, they've got thousands and thousands and thousands. Like something like just to have an installment is about $50,000 to $500,000. Okay, like. There is systems in place. The bigger the budget is, the more you have to go, okay, we will not complete, we will do, so like it's forecasting how much money the first operation is going to take. And in order to, for them, before you start, they have to cover that first milestone. Even if the project, say, for instance, is a 6-month contract, they pay up month in advance. As soon as that month is coming to a close, they need to put that second deposit in to cover the second month, and so forth and so forth. I will not even, especially in your operations that's dealing with a lot of money, I won't even give them the time of day. If they say, oh, I'll give you half now, I'll give you half later. No, no, no. Our system is pay it full or we don't do business. Why don't you come back in 6 months' time when you have the full payment, and then we can have this, start this conversation again. And it's not personal, it's business. Okay? Business is business, and there's no hard feelings. You just need to set your standard 1000%.
Something I like about this tribe, we did things backwards. We know. We started global and then went local. Normally you would think that we would start local and then go global. But the nice thing about this tribe is that we have built relationships with people from across the world. So if you're looking to understand a foreign market, the best people to talk to are people that are actually within that market. They they've already picked apart and built avatars of what their ideal clients are like within their environment. So the best thing to actually do is to meet those people. And those are the introductions that we can make. So if you're wanting to break into a European market, then let's introduce you to some people that are already functioning within the European market, within a similar industry as to what you're actually in, and find out how do they do it within their market. So those are some introductions that we can actually make. So if I'm not mistaken, from the last time we met, I do recall us saying we needed to introduce you to particular people. That obviously still stands, and I think that process would be a brilliant process to go through, because then you're talking to people that are actually within the market that you're looking to break into. You can pick their brains and see how they do it, and that's your way forward.
And Hayley, you did say you are coming to our next Global Online Speed Networking event, right? On the 23rd of April. Okay, well, this tribe will be there. Who here is keen to help find Hayley more European connections for her Cut to Code business at our next Global Online Speed Networking event? Yeah? Amazing! Cool. Problem solved, Hayley. Okay. Mr. Super, it's a pleasure, Hayley. Mr. Super Sales says he has an answer that he thinks will cover both Hayley and Rita's questions. So, Mr. Sales, can we hear it?
Sure. Thanks, Nestine. So I think there's two things. Firstly, to Hayley, I think there's two elements. Like Tasha said, we all go through that problem, right? And it's really difficult when you're talking about software development, because there's hefty costs. And in forgetting the high level, highly technical people involved is heavy costs. So I think there's two elements, and I'm glad Mayor's on here, and I mean, you've got Lynette as well, Nestine as well. The numbers play a big part. So understanding those numbers is really important. And then secondly, it's about, now that you've burnt yourself like this, you can see how can you create those buffers. You know, so and it goes into what Tasha was saying, and preparing for the next round. Because now at least you burnt, but you can still fight. So in the next round, it's okay, we learned, even if we're gonna still kind of go with that rolling over process, how can we do that in a way that doesn't burn the boat? And now you've learned the one thing is okay, firstly, we need to have that pipeline going from the sales perspective. Great learning there. Secondly is maybe we shouldn't go overshooting capacity, just so that we can roll over. And thirdly, if we do decide that we're gonna go 100% capacity, how much financially are we gonna make sure is secured so that we can continue to operate? And I think that those are just some of those very, very important things. Leading to something that would work for both Rita and Hayley is really, it's coming down to what do you actually want? And that real clarity of what do you want? Who do I actually want to be around? And what, and especially with this type of network, because I mean, it's not about it's not about money immediately, right? It's about working with the right people and about connecting with the right people so that because you don't know what source, the deal might not be between us, but it might be between somebody that I know. And I mean, like Adi, for example, one of my clients is a software developer that they are looking for. They've been saying to me, I would love to network with people in South Africa because I need developers in South Africa. You know what I mean? So I was like, so hearing you and this on you'd be on our team, that'd be like, okay, great. Then I know somebody that I can connect them to. And it's not like I had that sitting in the back of my head. It just all of a sudden materialized. So this is the thing. I think and when listening to everybody here, we're always looking for people that we can provide value to. So I hope that answers both of your questions. My name is Marlon.
That is awesome. But we call him Mr. Super Sales. Thank you, Marlon. Stephen, do you want to say something? Is that why you had your heart up? Or I don't know anymore. Do you just love each other, or do you want to say something?
Both.
Okay. Go for it.
Love the tribe. So answer to Rita's question. Rita, I think I want to ask you a question. What is networking or a networking community or tribe, the ideal networking community or tribe look like for you? What are you looking for?
Stephen, I'm looking, and I only discovered this recently, that networking is really relationship building. And that is my goal, is building relationships as far as possible. And that is really what I'm after.
Okay,
building
so
the relationships.
That's awesome. So in answer to, because networking is different for a lot of people, there's some people that go to networking to look to get business. And that's the sole purpose of their reason for networking. So I suppose you've got to find the right networking group that aligns with what you're looking for. And if it's about relationships, then there's not even a question about Explore Protech. So then it is the right group for you.
Thank you.
And I want to bring a bit of that in then to Hayley. So Hayley, I don't have to now type this all out on email. But it's kind of the same thing. So Explore Protech put out on there what they stand for and why they exist. And I have to use Peter's saying again, it's coffee then business. And that coffee has a deep meaning in it. It's about building the relationships. Hayley and Marlon alluded to it now business is about people, but it's not just about people. It's about finding the right people. And part of our team is our customers. They are part of our team if they bought into what we stand for. And I think whether you're dealing with businesses in South Africa or whether you're dealing with businesses overseas, and I had this conversation with an entrepreneur yesterday. She kept talking about getting people to buy into a business. And I said, why don't you get them to buy into your vision and what you stand for? Because then you won't be selling them anything. You'll be telling them what you believe. And those people that respond to that, it's already probably one step to finding the right people. And you can ask them questions around that. And Marlon said something just now about value. In why your business exists and the vision of your business stands the value. And if you ask them more questions about that, you're not talking about business as such, you're talking about the value. And if they seriously buy into that at the end of it, then you probably, there's no guarantee, but you're probably on the right track to getting the right people involved with you. And then as Tash said is, get them to pay upfront. I don't know if everybody can pay the full amount of upfront, or that is business, but at least have your costs covered and that your losses are not too high. I mentioned this to Nestine and Peter, a good friend of mine, very intelligent guy, said to me, you're very good with numbers, said to me once, he says, when you go into a business or into a deal, don't look at how much you're going to make. Look at how much you can afford to lose. So get those costs covered, and yeah, put it out there. And it's worked for me in the overseas market, working with quite a big multinational company. We never spoke about business. We spoke about the value of what, and we both agreed on that. And the price came afterwards.
Ah, that is amazing. And we totally have a case study about that, Haley, so I'll send it to you. Stephen Westwood wrote it for us. Haley, we know you got to go, so feel free to jump off. I'm just going to wrap up, basically. We love you so much. Thank you for being here. We are in the wrap-up process, guys, because if I leave you, I know you'll speak the whole day. About everything we've covered. Rita, I just want to say from our side, you know, you've gone through the whole dating process with us. You survived cocktails with me and Stephen at our networking cocktail party.
That was fun.
You have survived being interrogated or doing the interrogation on the coffee shop show. You have successfully impressed everyone at our global online speed networking event, and we've been hearing amazing things about you. So I actually think this would be a brilliant space for you, and if you want to join the tribe, we'd be more than happy to have you.
Thank you so much, Miss Dean. We'll chat to you on Monday.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Guys, before we wrap up, I just have to let you know of something else that we're doing that is really, really fun. And since I surprise my tribe live all the time, why not do this live? Let's see the faces. Guys, we are totally getting together to make a parody because Java did it and they got 2 million views on YouTube. So now you guys are having to do it too. So we are currently in the process of picking a song. Lynette was there at our mini impromptu party last night. She said she's totally up for being the face of this song along with Stephen. So we're all going to be in it and it's going to be epic. Oh yes, Tasha, you're so there.
Tasha, you're laughing. Guess who's laying down beats?
So guys, there's no questions anymore. There's just say yes. And you know what I mean? So it's expected at this stage. You know what I mean?
Can I just point out, right? I've never once said no to anything. And from that, no, honestly, exactly. But from that, I've ended up doing my 5-year plan 5 years early. But there's something that Leonie said the other day on her live that sort of resonated with me and stuck in my head. And it's say yes and figure out how to do it later. And that encapsulates the heart of the tribe. We all say yes and then work out how we're actually going to do it.
Exactly. So guys, if you want to know how the Explore Protect song is going to sound, we have no clue, but it will be released shortly. And on that note, thanks so much again for being here. Guests and everyone else, you're welcome to stay for the backstage chat, but that is the end of our live for today. Guys, we will see you again next time. Same place, same tribe, same vibe. Okay.